Okay, great. Hello everyone, this is Matilda from Bits and Bytes. I'm the Managing Director, and I'm going to spend the next 5 minutes giving you a brief introduction of what we do at Bits and Bytes. So we started in 2016, and we are China's pioneer agriculture and food tech VC, and our goal is to invest in early stage transformative technology startups to address the systematic challenges in the food supply chain. And those challenges include food security, food safety, sustainable protein production, human nutrition, and waste reduction. We have a Chinese market mandate, but we invest in technology companies all over the globe. And all the technologies are chosen is because how they can be adopted and commercialized at scale in the Chinese market. And if you look at the agriculture and investment activities in China, although by the number we are already the second most vested capital market that goes into agri-food, but in 2019, out of the $3.6 billion US investment that went into agri-food supply chain investment, more than 80% of those capital goes into meal delivery, e-commerce, all the different milk tea chain, coffee shop chain, you name it. However, in our investment thesis, without the supply chain innovation and technological advancement in the upstream and midstream, it will hinder the sustainable growth sector in the downstream. And without the real tech innovation for how food is being produced and delivered, it will be very, very difficult to elevate the quality and taste without compromising all the quality behind the food production. So our investment is really focused on the upstream and midstream technology opportunities. And we have 5 thematic focus. The first 2 are more related to agri-tech. How can we starting to think about increasing the yield with less farm input, also without hurting our soil and our land. And then the second part is really looking at more and more bio-based solution to be able to better fight over the crop and animal disease. And then the last 3 is more related to food tech. We're both looking into cell-based meat opportunity as well as novel protein ingredient opportunity, as well as human nutrition, functional ingredients, personalized nutrition to be able to treat nutrition more as a preventive approach in order to lower the healthcare cost burden. And then last but not least, which is also very relevant to the topic today, we're also looking in waste and packaging reduction opportunity, both in new materials and shelf life extension. And given the time constraint, I will share 3 portfolio companies in the first 3 verticals that we have been actively looking for opportunities. And first of all, for the Precision Ag, I think we heard very loud and clear from the 14th five-year plan that the government has been putting very strong commitment to foster the technology innovation to strengthen the self-sufficiency of the food supply chain. And now that also the increasing tension between the trade war and also the COVID-19 uncertainty, how can we leverage the precision agriculture solutions to continue to modernize the agriculture? So we have invested just last week a Chinese ag drone company so that we will be able to have more precise farm input into the cash crops. And as you also know, just last month, both of the BAT also starting to put doubling down amount into the ag drones, ag vehicle companies to really accelerate the ag tech innovation movement. So we will continue to look for those SaaS platform or robotics platform to continue to really address those production efficiency as well as to address the labor shortage issues in China. And for food tech, the other company that we invested, this company called Tropic Biosciences, and they are using the gene editing technology, CRISPR-Cas9, to combat a lot of the crop diseases problems. And the first crop that they're addressing right now is banana, and to really help the banana crops to combat their deadly disease, so-called TR4 or Panama disease. So all over the world, also including Hainan and Yunnan, we have been losing the yield from banana production by 30% year by year because of this deadly disease. So how can we use this CRISPR-Cas9 platform so that we will be able to continue to have this banana for our next generation, will continue to have very important implication for that. And this patented platform technology is also working with the UK's largest pig breeding company to also trying to combat the virus from African swine flu. And last but not least, for alternative protein sector, we have this company called Future Meat Technology in Jerusalem. And they are one of the 50 available startups all over the world that is trying to use the cell-based meat production to trying to grow the cells directly in the bioreactor without raising or slaughtering any animals. And as we know, the animal agriculture is the single largest contributor to climate change. This will have very important implication when their cost structure compare the commercialization scale. And we actually co-invested in this company with Tyson Ventures, who is the largest chicken farming company that trying to push this type of technology to the market. So this is what we do, and really happy to hear to share more about our perspective into agri-food tech. Thank you.
So Matilda, I would like to ask you a first question on the general topic of new proteins. It has been a topic that is quite hot lately, particularly with plant-based. But I know you are looking at much more than just plant-based. So could you tell us about the general area of new proteins?
Very similar to the CM Ventures, we do take a very science-led solution technology approach. If it's just purely a marketing-driven, PR-driven company without any actual technology know-how in the process of those food, that is out of our investment scope. So we typically look into different type of new protein, chickpea protein, mung bean protein, the new novel ingredient that can elevate the texture, the emulsification, or even foaming, that will be able to enable the outcome of the final plant-based food. That will be something that we're looking at. In terms of other novel protein, I think it's also very interesting to starting to see more and more startups that are using and creating new value out of those overlooked resources. Like the CO2 or methane into protein. BP just invested 30 million to Calista. We think that's a very good positive signal for the startup ecosystem by really capturing those waste, although they starting from carbon negative, but they're converting those waste from egg waste or the municipal waste, and then creating the new value from the industrial byproducts. So we think this is definitely one thing that we're very, very excited to exploring more. But also, I think the biggest challenge for those companies to be able to achieve at scale is the cost. Not just about the yield and safety, but how they can really reach the cost to be able to, on par with the other animal feed, will be a very critical thing for them to overcome the hurdle. And we just invested in a company through our new fund. It's a company called Magic Bio in Sichuan, and they are using a bio-based methodology to be able to create one of the essential compound in the animal nutrient. And the cost is much cheaper than all the conventional peers through the chemical synthesis. And this is more environmentally friendly, and it has more cost effective, and they are already building a facility that will give them the thousands of tons capacity by end of next year. So for us, these will be the three checkbox before we land on an investment decision on a novel protein.